Game week 27th, I'm super excited. I mean, we've got some whopping games, so you're going to want to watch the whole entire video. This is the Premier League channel for you, and yeah, let's just get into it. First up, we have Southampton versus Norwich. You know, with Norwich, they've been showing consistent glimpses that they could stay up, but it does seem really unlikely. The fact that they're still in 20th. Southampton, on the other hand, they're back in form and they're looking very good. I mean, when they played Manchester United, players like Broja, they made me scared for my life. Norwich actually beat Southampton 2-1 earlier in the season when they first played them at home. But I just have a feeling they're going to be able to get the better of the Norwich defenders. They'll be able to trick, you know, run past the Norwich defenders, and Norwich, they'll just look 2 steps behind at the moment, and I just think it's going to be an easy 2-1 win for the Saints. On to the next one, it's Leeds versus Spurs. Now, Leeds, they did show fight against United, I'll give it to them. You know, they managed to score 2 goals against us, but Spurs, you know, they're not just showing fight, they're dominating against the team that is going to win the Premier League, Manchester City. Of course, they did beat them recently in a 3-2 victory where they actually scored 4 goals, but 1 got disallowed, and they were easily the better side. One question I've got in my mind, is Kane back to his best form? Personally, I just think he wanted to play pretty well because he wants to get that £100 million move, of course. But maybe, just maybe, if he starts scoring consistently, we could actually see him back to his best. Leeds, fun fact about them, they've lost 3 of their last 4 games, so they're probably going to go into this thinking, Tottenham, they're probably going to dominate us, so we should just sit back, relax, and when we get the ball, just do a full counter-attack, try to make the most out of it. But I don't see Leeds getting anything out of this. 2-0 to Spurs with, I'm going to say, a Harry Kane goal again. I'm going to say it. On to Brentford playing at home against Newcastle. Now, Newcastle, they have actually lost the most amount of games than any other Premier League team playing away in London, which is actually, I mean, pretty specific number. They've lost 82 of them. Brentford, they have not won any of their last 7 games. So, you know, there's a couple statistics that are definitely going to scare both the sides into whether they're going to be able to get even any points from this. Trippier for Newcastle, of course, he got injured in the Aston Villa game. And, I mean, he's been their talisman, you know, ever since he came. He's been scoring consistent free kicks. And now that he's injured, that will be a big blow for the Magpies. I'm sure about that. But Newcastle, they're just still the better side. I mean, after the January, they've had Bruno Guimaraes, you know, even Dan Burn, players like that. It makes them reassure that they're able to stay up because they've got much more better players and they've got much more depth in the squad. Eddie Howe, he's settled in as well, so that's another positive for Newcastle. And I just think they're going to comfortably dominate. I'm going to say an easy 1-0 win, seeing as Brentford, they're extremely inconsistent, and recently their form has not been good enough. On to the next game, and it's Crystal Palace playing at home against Burnley. Now, Burnley, they smashed Brighton 3-0. What's going on with Burnley? I mean, they haven't played like this in years. I cannot remember the last time Burnley's beaten a side by 3 goals. And you know what? Fair play to them. Sean Dyche, the players, they have their head extremely low because they're looking like they're going to get relegated. But as Sean Dyche does every season, he looks at the people who say they're going to get relegated and he says, shut up mate, we're not. And I genuinely think there's a chance that Burnley will not get relegated. I put my hands up and say that. One of the reasons is because one of their new signings, Weghorst, has made a perfect start to Turf Moor. I mean, last game against Brighton, he scored 1 goal and got 1 assist, which shows that, you know, maybe him being in the squad could generate much more numbers in goals and assists, and could end up finally converting all those boring draws into actually scraped wins. Who knows? Crystal Palace are easily the better team on paper. I mean, Zaha, Eze, Odsonne-Edouard, Michael Olise, Gallagher. Not many people have been talking about him recently, but the Clarets, they're going to give them a fight. The Clarets never let them get dominated. I think, you know, they're definitely going to make it hard for Crystal Palace to be able to get a point from here. But Crystal Palace, I definitely think they'll fight back. One of the players I think will do extremely well for Crystal Palace is Odsonne Edouard. Now, they signed him in the summer from Celtic for a very small fee, I believe under £20 million. And he started off quite good. He sort of scraped under the carpet recently, but I think he's going to get a goal, and I think he will be extremely clinical on the day. I'm going to say 1-1. It will be an actual good game, but no team's going to get the 3 points. On to Brighton versus Aston Villa, and Aston Villa, they want to be in Brighton's position right now. I mean, they got a couple new players, you know, Digne, Coutinho, a couple more in January, and Brighton's sitting in 9th place. Aston Villa, they're in 12th, so they're trying to chase onto Brighton's top 10 place. So getting a win for the Seagulls could be very important for Brighton, seeing as, you know, they've had terrible form recently, and they don't, you know, nothing is ever confirmed in the Premier League, and I still think if they continue this form, Brighton, they could definitely actually maybe even be in a relegation fight. So they've got to definitely get the 3 points to just help them a bit more to solidify even a top 15 position. For this game, a fact is the last 4 times these two teams have played each other, it's ended in a draw. So, you know, if you're going to put your money on it, definitely say a draw, mate. Definitely say a draw. Gerrard, I've got one question on my mind about him. Is he a fraud? I mean, he came from Scotland doing this crazy unbeaten run, you know, finally getting Rangers fans their dream of being better than Celtic after all those years they had to climb up the leagues again. And he's came to Aston Villa. He's not won in his last 9 games. Ever since they beat us, they've gotten worse and worse, more boring and boring. So they're going to have to hope that Coutinho has a good game, because he's kind of converted into their star player, seeing as, you know, Danny Ings, you know, Watkins, they're not actually doing good right now. I'm going to back my heart, what my heart says, and I'm going to say 2-0 Brighton with a Morpay goal. United versus Watford. Last time we played Watford, we lost 4-1. We lost 4-1, and it was embarrassing. I believe this was the game where the United board told Ollie after this, "You're gone, mate, pack your things, get out of the club." I mean, funnily enough for Watford, they're actually looking in better form right now, you know, getting a win under their belt, and the first of hopefully many for Watford fans under Roy Hodgson. Now, United fans will notice this, especially Crystal Palace fans, that when we used to play Palace under Hodgson, we struggled massively, because Hodgson, he used to park the bus on us, he used to go all out defensive, and then he'd end up getting such a scammy, dodgy goal, and I'm scared. I'm praying it doesn't happen this time. But I mean, Watford, they have less quality than Crystal Palace, so we should be seeing us dominate, and we should be winning by more than 2 goals, I mean, confirmed. United, we have improved a lot since the loss. I mean, we sacked Ollie, we got Ragnick in. Ragnick, we were struggling to score more than 1 goal. We just didn't look good as a team. But now we're getting better and better every game. You know, we just beat Brighton 2-0. We beat Leeds 4-2. And hopefully, I'm recording it before the Champions League. Cross my fingers. We beat Atletico. I'm going to say Sancho to get man of the match, because he's been looking like our best player since Pogba's came back. Him and Pogba, they've done really good. And I think Sancho's actually going to get a goal and an assist. I absolutely butchered that. I was going to sound so cool. 3-0 United. Come on, the lads. On to Everton versus Manchester City. Everton, they've improved a lot under Frank Lampard, especially in January, you know, getting Donny van der Beek, who's been a great signing so far. Dele Alli, we haven't seen much of him. Hopefully, for his sake, he can improve. But actually saying that, I've been seeing Everton get a win, a loss, a win, a loss. Man City, they have won versus Everton in their last 4 away visits, so this is surely scary for Everton, even the fact that they're first right now. Man City, it's as simple as they are the better side by 100 million, trillion, billion miles, whatever you want to say. They're just the better side by a huge huge margin, and they pounced on their prey. You know, Everton, they're not going to get the ball because Man City, they're just going to keep passing it off, waiting for that space to arrive where the attacker can run through and usually finish it off in the back of the net. And I just think they pounced on their prey. This will be really, really hard for Everton to even get a look in. To even get into Manchester City's box will be a huge achievement for them. Mahrez and Bernardo Silva will be getting goals. I'm going to say 4-1 City, and you know, they'll try to make their margin between Liverpool in first and second even bigger. On to West Ham playing at Wolves, the last game of game week 27. West Ham, they are 2 points above Wolves right now, but Wolves, they actually have 2 games in hand. So this is a kind of tricky and scary time for David Moyes right now. Antonio, we used to talk about him at the start of the season. I mean, go back on my old videos. I used to say this guy's sick. He's going to score every single game week, but he's only scored 1 in his last 17 matches. What's going on, Mikel Antonio? Wolves did just beat Leicester 2-1, and heads are extremely high. I mean, Wolves under Bruno Lage, they're a totally different side, and I'll actually say, underrated opinion, actually, you know what, I think people could back me. Bruno Lage's Wolves right now is better than prime Nuno Espirito Santo's Wolves. I think this Wolves side could win a Europa League. Back to West Ham, and their attack is extremely out of form. I mean, Bowen's goals, he is sort of carrying the attack right now. Ben Rama started the season off really, really strong, but his goals have dried up, so we're not really seeing anything from him. So I just can't see an out of form West Ham attack getting past Jose Sarr, my second favourite keeper, and funnily enough, second best keeper, as stats say, behind David De Gea. I'm going to say this, but I need you to know I'm not a Wolves supporter. I'm going to seem like a fraud, like I actually secretly support Wolves, but I'm telling you right now I don't. I think that Neves and Moutinho as a midfield 2, and as a midfield 2 I'm not talking about midfield 3s or whatever, are the best on form in the whole entire Premier League, and that means that they're better than Chelsea's one with currently Kante and Kovacic. I'm saying it right now. 1-0 Wolves, very comfortable win, and we should see a great game there. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Go check out the Bruno Guimaraes video, go check out the Ronaldo Champions League video. Love you all, have a great day, peace.